I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's do an Amazing Race 35 draft, but you know what, Sarah?
Oh, what?
I don't want to do it alone.
No!
I don't want to do it just us two.
Ew, you? No.
Yeah.
We need other people here. You guys, hello. We're going to do a draft. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdtainment.
You can.
There it is.
Also, speaking of Patreon, our patron Discord also does a draft for every show, every season. So that's also fun over there. Mm-hmm. But let's get into it, you guys.
Yeah,
we got some other Amazing Race people. What's happening? All right, James.
Hey.
Everyone knows James from Will and James winners.
So millionaires.
That's clout.
Oh my God. Hi,
and
Cayla.
Hello.
I'm so excited.
New friend to Nerdtainment. We're forcing you in.
Yeah.
Making you our friend.
I'm so excited. I feel so honored.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. First off, are you guys excited about the new season? James, give me your overall feelings here.
Oh, I'm stoked. This cast looks amazing. I'm also so intrigued that there's 12 teams. And I'm also intrigued to know what some of these game-changing twists are that, Phil and the PR releases are kind of teasing us with. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how the non-eliminations, there being none, factor into this race. I think it just raises the stakes a little bit. So I'm really excited for this season.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Cayla, what are your feelings?
No, same. Like, just to piggyback off of James, I was literally just rewatching the clip where it's like, in the first time ever. And my boyfriend's like, the first time ever what? What? And I go, I don't know. I don't know either. So yeah, I'm so excited to see that. And yeah, I just feel like the teams, I rewatch their little videos just to introduce themselves. And I'm torn. I'm like, who do I want to go with? I feel like it's going to be a really good cast.
And there's certain people where I'm like, I love them so much, but I'm not picking them for my draft.
Same.
Need points.
Sometimes you get competitive, and then sometimes you're like, they're cute.
Yeah.
I just want them.
I can't wait.
Options. Well, I'm excited. The premiere is the 21st, right? At 10 p.m. They're starting for the first time out of the U.S.
Munich.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
They're still on their chartered flight.
Yeah.
And then, no non-elimination legs this season.
And I read that they're going to hit the 400th episode this season.
Oh, right.
Isn't that crazy?
I think it's the premiere, early on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That's
wild.
insane.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Adam.
So excited that James and Kat, I know, right? Hey! Racers and challengers.
Good Team Purple vibes, throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Right? Purple is where it's at.
I'm grabbing a charger.
We are, okay. Oh, yes. So we are going to go through first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth pick. Then we back it back up for third, second, first.
Okay.
Since James is the ranking person here as a winner, he gets to choose if he wants to go first or fourth.
Oh.
Cayla will go second. And then, or she can go first. If James chooses fourth, Cayla can go first.
Okay.
And
so you just get to pick your place in the
No,
whatever?
You don't. James does.
No, I'm saying you get to Thank you.
James, I feel like since you got first and I got second in Amazing Race, we should keep that order. Maybe it's a goodbye.
Keep it fair. Keep it simple. I agree with you. That works for me.
Okay, good. There we go. I never want the person going first to feel slighted that then the fourth gets to go boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
David, do you want to go third or fourth? Why am I giving you this choice?
Yeah, why are you giving me a choice?
I was going to just make you go third, but then I would be fourth.
That's fine.
Then I get some sort of preference. I don't know. I usually do a randomizer, but I thought.
I'll go third.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That was so official, guys.
Yeah.
So official. All right. Well, then, James, start us off. You get your first pick.
I think that this won't come as much of a surprise. I feel like if I don't pick them, Cayla probably would. And I'm just being a little strategic in my thought process with that. I'm going to have to choose Derek and Claire. They are Team Purple
How
this season.
did I know?
They're filling some tough shoes, you know? It went from
That's right.
Will and I to Raquel and Cayla. And now you got Derek and Claire as Team Purple. So I think that that's the route I will go for my first choice. Plus, I think coming in from a show like Big Brother, and you know, Derek just got off the challenge, like he's got some experience under his belt when it comes to a competition show. Claire is so brilliant, so smart. I think that she was so great on Big Brother that I think the two of them together are just going to make a really great team, and I think they're going to be entertaining. Together as well. So
oh my God,
Derek and Claire.
Definitely entertaining. This is the one team we probably don't have to show a reference photo.
Yeah.
Everyone should know who Derek and Claire are. I'm so excited that they're on this. I do feel like they'll do well. I questioned some of Derek's moves on the challenge. I was like, well, you can't do a Scrabble word? What happened? But overall, like, he won a lot of vetoes.
Yeah.
I think Claire can make up for any Scrabble words that might get missed if it's on the race. So yeah, I think they'll do well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's also made a few jokes on his Insta story since the cast got announced where I'm like worried that maybe navigation is going to be their downfall. Like they might get a little too in their head and a little too frazzled where they might make a decision that could put them behind some other teams. But either way, I think they'll bring the entertainment, and I'm really excited to see them race.
Yeah, and I think it's just such a bonus. It's like both of them have done a show before, let alone together. So that in and of itself, like, you know, being on, you know, a reality television show together, that in itself is like nerve-wracking, you know. So they kind of have that. So the jitters in that sense hopefully will be gone for them. So that's a strong first pick, James.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry.
She's alluding to something. Ray, thank you for the super sticker.
Thank you, Ray.
Yes.
I watched this little montage on the Amazing Race Twitter feed that was like all of them naming the 3 things they would bring with them on the race or whatever. And you just know Derek and Claire know how to do TV because Claire was like, I mean, they're supposed to be fun. Like, don't say a compass. That's lame. And then it cuts to everybody else saying compass.
Which I'm pretty sure I said, like, on my season. I was like, oh, a compass. I was
like, but they're going to know how to make it entertaining. So I'm excited to watch them for sure.
Yes. As soon as Big Brother was over last season, I was like, if they're not on Amazing Race, I'll be mad. All right. Cayla.
Yes. So
who is your first pick?
Okay, so I am gonna have to stay true to my I want another all-female team to win. If it can't be Raquel and I'm gonna kind of go with Asta. Rhymes with pasta,
right?
Yes. Oh, that's a good choice.
Right?
So good.
And Nina rhymes with Nina.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for them. I feel like they're like spunky and fun, and it looks like they did some traveling on their own, which, like, you know, that's always good to have, you know, just as, like, you know, you're comfortable doing that with your partner. They just seem fun, and I like their energy, and I obviously love that they are what look to be a very strong female duo. So
Absolutely.
that's gonna be my pick.
All right.
Yay. They were going to be my first pick,
Me
Cayla.
too.
Oh, sorry to steal them.
They give me Will and James vibes, to be honest.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for me was, you know, Nina said in the interview that it's Asta's dream. Like, this is something that she's been wanting to do. And I think Nina being her partner, like, I'm excited to see them live this out together. I think this show and doing it with your significant other is such a special and unique experience. And I honestly don't think that we've had an LGBTQ plus all-female team since Carol and Brandy on season 16. And so I'm just really excited to see these two on the race.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
So just to give some stats here, they are engaged. They live in Marina Del Rey. I think they were early to mid 30s. Yeah, they give out good, just like solid vibes.
Yeah, and Nina's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay.
She's gonna be badass.
Are they both veterans though? I mean, because I remember seeing Nina, she talked about it in her interview, and then they've been promoting some veterans coffee time, and I saw Phil share it on his Insta story, and I think one of them's Navy and one of them's Army. So I think they're both veterans.
Oh
I could be mistaken.
I wonder if that's how they met.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Good question.
Huh.
Okay, yeah, it seemed like only one, but interesting. I feel like that means they're going to be good with details and structure.
Yeah.
But they also just seem level-headed and grounded, and yeah.
And I love, like you said, how one is who's the fan, Asta or Nina?
Asta.
So I was the big fan, and Raquel was like, I'd seen it, but like, so for me, I'm like, oh my God, like this is a dream. It's Amazing Race. But she like brought me down a little bit. They're going to be a good little duo.
Mm-hmm. It says Asta has a military family, which I think Ben also corrected in the chat. So just wanted to make sure I got my accurate info.
That
good
counts.
choice,
That
Cayla. Good choice.
Yes. All right. Is that you?
Is it me?
Are
Okay.
you third? Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go because I want points in this draft. So I'm gonna go Marcus and Michael.
Marcus and Michael, the brothers.
More military.
They look strong.
Look at them. Yes.
Yeah.
And they were mentioning, I mean, you can say you're smart and we'll see if you're smart, but they were like, we're smart, we're physical. Like they were selling themselves as the whole package and I was buying it. So
you're not wrong. They definitely were. And I think there's some truth to that. So I'm excited to see these two race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The brothers, both like impressive titles. One's
a pilot,
one's a commander,
an Army tank commander, and a fighter pilot. That's like Top Gun.
Yeah,
and
I'd want to travel with them. I'd feel safe.
Yeah, totally.
What? I was like, whoa, that's not just military. That's like successful military career.
They're giving me Anthony Spencer vibes.
Ooh.
I love a brother dynamic because you never know if they're going to just like totally vibe or if they're going to be so mean to each other.
But they seem to have like a really sweet bond in the minute-long video that we got to watch. But it was like, they were like, he's my hero. No, he's my hero. Like I think
that's how it always starts.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I mean, like Madison and Riley, they're brothers, they're teammates, and they still had their moments where they did good.
That's true. Yeah.
That could be two very like testosterone driven, like, and then it could be a disaster. You never know.
Yeah.
Right? You can say things to your sibling that you would never say to anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And you can be downright hard on your sibling, like you would not be hard on someone else either. So
yeah.
And the race makes you stressed, right? From what I hear. It's a little stressful.
Just a little bit,
Well, my second pick hasn't been taken yet, so I'm kind of excited.
Good.
But I am going with high school sweethearts, Abby and Will.
I did like them.
I wanted to snatch them up.
Yeah.
I know.
Oops, I just gave David. Hold on. Okay. So Abby and Will, I don't know. It's hard to tell from these first like getting to know you packages, but again, she's like the super fan.
Yeah.
And he has clearly watched it with her since they were teenagers. And so he's like, sure, let's go. They're from Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know. That's cute. I'm hoping they work well together.
Yeah.
I was just getting good vibes about them. I don't know.
I just think there's something to like really wanting to be there. Like both of you, it was your dream to be on Amazing Race, and look how y'all finished, So she clearly is like over the moon to be on this show and such a super fan.
And they seem so in love. So it's like he's not going to want to let her down, you know? So
and at some point though, they're going to have to break through that fan moment because I know it's a learning curve. The race is definitely like the first few legs, you start to find your groove and your momentum. So they're going to have to break through. It's one thing to be a fan, but when you're a super fan and you get too much in your head, that could be your downfall. You might make a few mistakes here and there, but I'm hopeful for these two. They were going to be my second pick.
Yeah.
Yay!
And I think it mentioned that they've known each other, been best friends since like as early as middle school. So I would even say that they're middle school sweethearts. Like,
and I loved what
met
Will said in the interview about how, you know, they grew up obviously watching the show together, but they're excited to take the strategies that they've talked about on the couch and then apply it to the race. So I look forward to seeing these two race.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, yes, that's exactly what you have to do because it's different in real life, right? We're just gonna sit from our couch and judge. All right, my next pick. You guys have taken most of my early picks here, so I'm gonna be honest. This is like middle of the pack for me, but I am excited about Quentin and Maddie.
They look so fun.
They do.
They remind me of us. And
I love that.
They're best friends. They used to be Rams cheerleaders.
Just like us.
And there's just like so many similarities there. So maybe they're fit because they were cheerleaders. Yeah. And I have no idea if they're smart or gonna get it or what. I don't know. Are they recruits? Do they really know the show? But at least I think their dynamic might be fun.
I agree.
And, you know, hopefully like the cheerleader background, like being each other's cheerleaders, hopefully like, you know, they'll be positive and, you know, their career as cheerleaders will kind of follow in. So
hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. They definitely seemed fun to me. I agree. They were not going to be my next pick, but maybe the one after that.
Well, you get to go ahead, James. What are your thoughts?
I was going to say, from the preview for the show, there was definitely a moment where I think Quentin was crying.
Yeah.
And you don't see we'll probably see Maddie cheer him on and root for him at some point, but I really loved seeing in that clip Dom doing her motivational speaking to Quentin. So I hope that Quentin and Maddie do well. I think that they have a lot of potential to be fun together, but I wonder if from that clip in that preview, I'm just like a little nervous that maybe the stress could get to them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would get to me.
Yeah.
Anybody. We all go through it.
If you didn't cry on The Amazing Race, did you really have the full experience?
Yeah. You do The Amazing Race the right way if you didn't cry on the race. Come on.
Well, David, you get to do your next pick then.
Okay, well,
it's not the.
Yeah, well, James just gave a nice little transition there because I am going to pick Rich and Dom. D-O-M.
I should not have said anything.
You shouldn't have. I was eyeing them as well.
At first I was like, this is like an odd couple. She is obviously very quirky with this hair. I mean, it's amazing and so colorful. But at first I just was not really sure how seriously I was going to take them just by looking at them. Yeah. But she's a gym owner, you know, she's like, seems very fit and capable. And there was that moment, like you're saying, James, in the trailer where she's like, you're here because you're great. So be great. And I was like, oh, yes, Dom, I love you.
Yeah, I love the energy she's bringing to the race. I actually peeped her Instagram and that's just her, love and light. That's what they represent. And they were on my list as a top pick just because they recently got engaged too. And I was like, some wedding plans in their future. Do they have a big chunk of money coming their way? I don't know. But I just love the energy that they bring because just from the little bits that we have seen, I think they embody what the spirit of Amazing Race is. And I think it's going to be really refreshing to see them on the show.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm like,
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I probably shouldn't admit it because we are the brand of positivity. But when I was watching them, I was like, no, they're too positive for me. It's too much.
Toxic positivity.
Hey, but you know what, Sarah? You're not wrong. That actually could also be a downfall. Like, it's one thing to be like positive on the race, but if you're always positive and never changing your mistakes and you just accept it, like, oh, I made a mistake, you know, it probably happened for a reason, but never learn from it. Like, you're right. Too much positivity might actually backfire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll see when push comes to shove if they're really positive in those heated moments. Because
yeah,
exactly. Start actually yelling at each other and forget that they're all love and light. Yeah, that's my big question for them. Is it the right amount of like, remember why you're here, or is it just like too much and then they fall apart?
Also, I am wondering, per Ant's comment there, what a merfairy is. That's one of my big questions.
It's a mermaid and a fairy.
Yeah.
But what is that?
Well, she does look like one with that hair.
Guess so, yeah.
Spirit animal or her.
Okay, yeah.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like this room I'm in.
Yes. Yeah. Lucy is also a merfairy. Pretty sure.
Oh, this is not my room, guys.
Don't lie, Cayla. It's okay. No judgment. Cayla, you're up next. Do you have anyone left that you want?
Yeah, I do actually, and I feel like I'm getting to like sneak this one in. I'm gonna go with Luis and Michelle. So yeah, she was a dancer. He's a firefighter. I just they're a super hot couple.
Yeah, so hot.
I feel like, and nothing against the other couples, but there's just something that I got from them that I feel like their communication, they're going to know when to be hard on each other, which like Amazing Race, it's like a very, yes, you want to be positive and whatever for your partner, but like you need constructive, like you need someone that's going to know how to push you. I don't know. I like them. I like them a lot.
And they're really they're like genuine fans of the show.
Yeah, both
like
of them.
I've spoken to them both, and they had mentioned that they had said in their apps that they like wanted to be like Will and James because they took the preparation for the show very seriously.
Oh, that's
good. So I think because of all their prep, they're going to go into this with a level of confidence that maybe the other teams might not have, and that's going to be something that will give them the extra edge. So that's a really great choice. I'm surprised we haven't actually picked them yet.
And I will say, just going off of like the prep that you talked about, we got sent home, so I had more time to prep, having like a dose of it. But just watching and studying The Amazing Race and knowing and prepping for the show, it's like the most crucial thing in my opinion, because the race is not trying to trick you. Phil's not trying to trick you. Like your clues are there. Everything's handed to you. And it's like, if they're like diligent in their prepping, I feel like they'll go really, really far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
When people don't prepare, because
the prep can be the difference in how you're reading the clue. Are you fully reading it and understanding it and all of that? It's like, that can really make a huge difference.
And he's a firefighter. Hello. That should come in handy, right?
And I'm pretty sure she dances for like Pitbull. Doesn't she dance for Pitbull? I'm like, what fun. I'm like, what a fun couple.
I know. I loved how he was like, now I get to be Mr. World.
They're a power couple.
Power couple for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that at least half this group is a dancer?
Yeah.
It might be more. Wow. I didn't actually count, but like I just was like, another dancer? Another dancer? I mean, I love a dance challenge, so I hope.
Does this segue into who you'd pick next?
Oh, James, this is you.
Okay,
What's your next pick?
I'm going back to my cheat sheet here to kind of see who's left. I'm sad about Abby and Will. Okay, let's see. So we have Aubrey and David. We got Emily and Molly, Glenda and Lumumba. And then Linton and Sharik.
They're available for you if you'd like.
And then Tim and Rex. Okay.
Tim and Rex are also available.
Based on this list, I'm actually kind of excited about. So I get to pick two.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's right. Because he's
no,
first.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, you do. These are your next two. Yeah. So take
I'm
your next
rounding
two.
out my team right now.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm really excited. I'm always such an advocate for all female teams. Like I same page as Cayla. I will then pick Emily and Molly, but also because their story really resonates with me in a way. I'm adopted, so I love their story. I saw them on the Ellen show. I just
really?
I didn't see them on there.
Yeah, I just think the two of them together, being reunited, sharing this experience together. I mean, I don't know how well they'll do per se, but I'm excited that they're going to share this experience together, and I'm looking forward to learning more about their story. So
I bet they are too.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they met for the first time a year ago.
And then raised the world together.
Insane. So they're making up for a lot of lost time, you know? Like
for sure.
What a better way to do it. So I'm excited. I'll pick them. I'll pick Emily and Molly. And then
wait, let's talk about them for just a second before you go to your next one.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Because it's like, oh, so cute. Twins could have like secret internal language almost, like they know what the other person is thinking. But then the fact that they haven't actually grown up together and just met, I was concerned. That's why they're not higher on my list. It's just the concern, like, do they even know each other? How do you compete together? But I think it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Well, and they feel like they were recruited, right? Like the producer saw the news story and were like, we need that. Right, exactly. So I'm like, how much do they know the show and the race and all of that stuff we're talking about? Like,
and how much do they want to be there?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I do love them.
Yeah. Very cute.
I hope they shock us because I was a little concerned. I was like, like if you don't know each other very well, I don't know.
But will they know it? Like, I want to know how similar they might have been, you know? Despite not having grown up together. I'm curious to know the similarities.
They're going to shock themselves.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
I want this for them.
Yes.
We just want a documentary of them doing that.
Yes. They're going to start finishing each other's sentences and then like realize it in the moment. And then it's going to be cool to watch.
Exactly. All right, James, are you ready for your last pick? What is your team going to be?
I'm going to go with Linton and Sharik, the father-daughter duo from Brooklyn.
Good.
If I'm not mistaken, I think she said she was a fan too. I think there's a lot of fans on this season because she actually posted a video of her when she got the news that she was going to be on the race, and she's crying, and I cried. Like, it just brought me back to the moment when I got the call. Like, I'm excited for her to live out her dream and to be able to do this with her dad. And, you know, when I first started my audition process for the race, I applied with my mom, and I just think doing this and sharing this experience with her dad is going to be so, again, I don't know how well they'll do. But I have a soft spot for, you know, the intergenerational teams of like father, son, father, daughter, mother, whatever. So I'll pick them as my last team.
That's a good last team.
Great. They are Jamaican New Yorkers. He's an assistant principal. She's a master's student.
Yeah, I mean, she was clearly thinking about strategy in the preview video we got of them, and she's like, which roadblock is right for whom, like those kinds of things. And, you know, they seemed like they might balance each other skills wise. Like, he was like, I'm a good builder and she's good at logistics, and, you know, so maybe they have some different skills to sort of round each other out as a team. I would like to see I feel like traditionally parent-child teams don't do that well, but I would love to see one do super well.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing it with either one of my parents.
Same.
I love you, mom and dad, but I just don't know how that would go.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing you doing it with your dad.
Oh my God. There was a time in my life when I was like, this would be a good experience for my dad and I to do because we have a complicated relationship. But luckily I got through that phase and it didn't happen. And but then my mom would be like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What? You want me to run?
What's that
No.
camera?
She's like, I'll meet you at the end.
I was like, can I just have tea with Phil? Can I
Yeah.
just now? Like, you do the leg and meet me back here at the mat.
She was like, let's just sit down and watch everybody. Yeah. All right, Cayla, who is your final team? Getting down to it here.
So this, you know what? I'm going to take a chance here.
Oh.
Take a chance on them.
And people are probably going to be like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm going to go with Tim and Rex.
Oh,
because
Thank you.
Thank you, Cayla.
I'm so happy you're taking this chance.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, I
What a
feel like
team.
they're going to be so entertaining. And I
Okay.
also feel like maybe luck is going to be dashed, you know, like in there. I know how golfing buddies can be. And I hope that they make it far enough to where we get to like get some good laughs out of them. Because I don't know why. I feel like I would want to hang out with them. Everyone's going to underestimate them 100%. I included. I looked at them and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'd go with that. But then I was like, you know what? Like, why don't I give them a chance? You know? So I'm gonna go for it because I like how he admitted. I like that he admitted. He said something about, you know, my poor job at coaching the Bills or something. Like he literally said that himself. So I'm like, at least he's, you know, self-aware, you know, self-deprecating, can poke fun at it. I'm like, I think they're going to be fun. So we'll see how far they go.
Yeah.
That's good. I think you hit it right there of like, let's get some good laughs.
Yeah.
Have some
Maybe
fun
one
with this.
episode of good laughs. That's
No,
my
let's
prediction.
you know what? Watch. You know, hey, Rex and Tim, you guys are making it to final 3. Okay. I'm giving you vibes.
You heard it here.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I hope that they surprise us because, like, the race I do feel like is designed for any team to win. That's something that they stress to you before you even leave for the starting line. And I just think that so many teams in the past have surprised people so many times. I mean, like, look at Haley and Cayla. They were the team with 9 lives on our season. People counted them out from the very beginning, and they ended up making top 6. So I feel like you're not wrong. Anything can happen. There's so many variables at play that could actually put them towards the front of the pack.
And I'll never forget at the very, very beginning, Phil said to us, he said, read your clue, rely on your partner. And he goes, and remember, this race can be won walking. Like if you do everything flawlessly, if you come into your roadblocks and detours and you crush them and you don't get lost, you don't take, it's just like you can win this walking. Now, that's great for Rex and Tim because I don't see them winning in a foot race or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to give them a shot.
Yeah. A good point, Ray. If Tim does those first 2 roadblocks, we might be able to see. Look, I don't think I've ever correctly predicted who was going to go out first. So when I say first out, don't go by that because I am always wrong. But I think that goes to like, people can surprise us. Things happen on the race. People make mistakes. And I mean, it's just such a weird pairing though. Like somebody obviously talked to Rex Ryan. I mean, if you don't know, he's a famous NFL football coach who didn't do great. I have friends who are Bills fans who are from Buffalo. They can't stand him. I checked in with them just to confirm. I was like, how do we feel? They were like, So, I mean, he's famous. And then this Tim guy, like, who's he?
Well, he's like, I'm afraid of heights. And I'm like, how did Rex talk you into this?
Like literally, they were like, Rex, would someone go with you on the race?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I golf with this guy.
Tim.
Yeah, he got the call on the golf course, and they were like a couple in, and then he's like, "Hey, man, you want to do this?"
A couple
like,
in,
sure.
Yes, exactly. I feel like that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, do they even know the show? Yeah, lots of questions here. Going to be very interesting. To watch.
Yeah. Is it me?
It's you, David. Who are you
Okay.
leaving me with?
Just these last two. It's,
Who's even left here?
it's Aubrey and David and Glenda and Lumumba.
Oh,
Our last.
well, I have a clear favorite, so don't
Okay.
look at my nose.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I've got my pick. I'm going with Aubrey and David.
Ooh.
And I'm picking them because they're dancers. Maybe that athleticism will help them. I've got my concerns. David seems awfully shy to me, which I'm like, that may be something you have to get over if you're like talking to locals and trying to, get some hints on where to go or all of that kind of stuff. But I wondered if there was some competitive edge there with their like dance backgrounds and whatnot. But I also was curious, did y'all notice their interview? They were standing holding a microphone between the two of them, and it looked like they shot it on an iPhone. I was like, did they not go to the press day, or what happened?
I think they were alternates.
Oh, interesting.
I heard they were alternates, and then when it became 12 teams instead of 11, they were in.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if that's true. That could be rumors.
I'm like, or did they love them so much that they were like, oh, they're in and we're going to make it 12 teams.
12 teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is this their audition video?
Yeah.
Because it's not impressive as an audition video, but I was trying to figure it out, but then I think it was.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, and the one thing I'll say for them, the hardest part for a lot of people, I don't know if you feel the same way, James, is choreography. Like any dancing, flag twirling, any of that stuff with rhythm and memorization. Like, so with choreo, I feel like, I mean, that could really be a huge benefit for them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Cayla. I feel much better about my choice now.
There you go.
Yeah. I liked them. You can't tell if they're like going to be super amazing, but I think the ballroom dancing background is interesting, and also they seem like a couple that cares about each other, which is just helpful if you can communicate. That seems fun.
I think David's right though that he might be a little shy, because I think in their video Aubrey even said like she like walked up to him, he was kind of in the corner, he was kept to himself, he was a little quiet. And I think if you're doing a roadblock and let's say you do have to interact with the locals or you have to like try to ask for directions or whatever, maybe he might not take the initiative to really do that, or maybe it'll push him to step outside of his comfort zone, or maybe this will bring an evolution of David. Who knows? I feel bad that their video is so different from everybody else's. I think that's when I watched it. That was my focus. I couldn't really pay attention to what was being said because it was like, why is their video different? And that's all I really cared about. So I hope that they surprise a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point, Shafika. I believe he is a mechanic, and I think that's important skill set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hands-on.
And they are from Los Angeles. There were a lot of people from Los Angeles. I was like, wow, casting just did not.
Just went right down the road.
Yeah. They're like, who's around? Well, I'm excited that you have left me with Glenda and Lumumba because they were high on my list.
He's so in love with her.
He's so in love with her.
Obsessed.
They've only known each other for 2 years and they've been married for one of them. I mean, that's a bit fast for me. I feel like they may not actually know each other, especially in traveling stressful situations.
And you learn a lot when you travel with your significant other.
They're going to learn it. They were one of those teams where it's like, I don't know if they're going to be amazing, but I like their dynamic.
Me too.
And so I'm interested to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
She's like 6'2" and he's 5'7", I think it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I loved when he said, he goes, a lot of people look at us and probably think like, she wears the pants. He goes, but I iron those pants. Or something like that. And I was like, yes, like, you're right.
Strong Virgo energy. And that means detail oriented. So yes, iron those pants, do whatever she tells you. If she's the one who wears those pants, just do it. And they're from Norcross, Georgia. That's outside of Atlanta. I've been there.
All right.
So that's something.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to see their dynamic on the show because
Yes.
they clearly are so in love with each other, and
Mhm.
maybe they're still in the honeymoon phase, and this might be like an extreme honeymoon where you're going to learn a lot about each other. Hi, Danny.
Danny.
Hey, Danny, tell Kiki we said hello.
Yeah, no kidding.
Danny, you have to come join us for our Survivor draft.
Yes.
Get excited about the new Survivor family season, and excited for the challenge for you and Cayla. Still in it.
Still going strong.
Still going strong. All right, those are our teams, you guys.
Good stuff. I'm happy with mine.
I
Are
love
you?
my team.
Yeah.
I am happy as well. Points wise for Amazing Race, the top 5 each leg get points. So whoever wins the leg gets 5 points, and then it goes incrementally down.
Oh, okay.
Then also you get, if you U-turn a team successfully, meaning that team gets out, you get 2 bonus points. If your team gets U-turned but they are able to stay in, they get 1 bonus point.
Uh-huh.
I like
now,
it.
whatever this new twist is, if that can be factored into points, we'll do it. But so far, that's the basic structure.
Yeah.
I love
team.
it. I'm excited.
I'm
Now-
excited.
James and Cayla, how are y'all feeling about the no non-elimination legs?
I have my thoughts on it because they said the same on our season, and then they were just continuation. I mean,
right.
I don't know. I don't know if they ended up being that way because some teams didn't come back after COVID, to where they needed, like, if teams went home and that, like, we would have had like 3 episodes shorter of a season, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious. I'm curious
Yeah.
to see if one of them ends up just being like a continuation, and then like 2 teams go home the next time, and maybe that would be like the first. Has that happened before, where 2 teams go home in one?
They did it on
like a mega
season
leg?
19 because like Ethan and Jenna from Survivor got screwed with that.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of like first time ever and like non-elims, how that would. Yeah,
that's a great first time ever, maybe 2 teams. But you're saying it already happened. 2 teams went in one leg.
I'm wondering if there's going to be like a new challenge, like something new, like maybe some new, I don't know.
Like we have a roadblock, a detour, a U-turn, a speed bump. Like maybe it's a completely new, like, we already did, they do yields. I'm trying to think of like something like along those lines.
Well, because when I first heard the non-elimination thing, I was like, well, that means fewer episodes. I don't want that, like.
But if they're continuations, maybe that's the way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see there being like multiple mega legs.
Yeah, interesting. Good thought.
That's exciting. I mean, you can kind of tell when you're watching, when you can see the teams know it might be a non-elimination leg. And so I am a little excited about maybe losing that, like keeping the pressure.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that it raises the stakes, like going into it knowing like if you're last, there's no hope for you. Like that's just it. Like I mean, like when I say like you check in last, there's no hope for you. I mean, there's always hope until you get to but really because when you're on the show, I feel like as you're racing, you kind of anticipate when a non-elimination leg is going to be, and so I think that kind of relieves the pressure a little bit more when you're like, oh, I think it's a non-elimination. Where now it's just going to be nonstop. Like you gotta keep fighting to the very last second to get to that good stop.
I also wanted to ask you both about the charter plane, because obviously, Cayla, you were on it. James, you were on the show before that element was in there. But are you happy to see that continue? Cayla, what did that like change about the race?
So for the racers, yes, I'm happy for them, just because it was just such a bonding experience, and we got to know the teams, like, each different team a little bit more, which I appreciated, because in the beginning it was, I mean, you didn't really interact with your team, other teams, unless you were in the challenge together. But even I don't know. So from a social standpoint, like I'm happy for them because they probably get to know each other as a cast, which is like really, really special. Just adds to your whole experience of the Amazing Race. Phil is on there too, which was incredible hearing like, his stories and getting to know him.
Yeah.
However,
I would spend my whole time just talking.
and he does. He'll come back and socialize. Like it was one of my favorite like aspects of that. But from a competitive fan of the Amazing Race, I'm not the biggest fan of it because there's this element that I feel like would adjust so many teams and how they do based on like different times of flights, how much rest you get. Like, so if you are like racing all day and then you take a later flight and get in and have to go, whereas like another team had some downtime because they got to a flight earlier, or could take an earlier time, or I don't know. It's just the whole flying together. Everyone's on the same pace as far as rest and readiness, which that is what I contributed to such a special part about what Amazing Race was, is you're truly traveling the world, which is not always glamorous. And I will say, we called it Big Phil was the plane. Big Phil's pretty glamorous. Like you're flying like first class
It
seats,
looks like first
meals.
class seats.
It's glamorous. It's so nice. So again, it's like for the cast, it was such a special, awesome thing that I loved. But I just personally think that's where Raquel and I were so strong, was traveling and sleeping on the floor and, just dealing with delays, and then that affecting, like a different team could have gotten a delay and it would have completely changed who came in what. So I don't know. It's just, I hope maybe once the world settles down and COVID and whatever, like maybe they'd go back to not doing the charter, because I just think it adds so much drama to the show that I loved.
Yeah.
Agreed. David and I love it. When someone doesn't make that first flight, they have to wait. They're so far behind.
And then those comeback stories, when they like get an hours later flight, but they still fight their way through and don't go home. Like it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm with Joseph. He said the same thing. He's like, dealing with like delays. But I will say, though, on the flip side, because we had the charter flight, we had a ton of self-drive, which
I love as well.
So I'm just like, they made up for it with self-drive. That was so incredibly difficult. So, it balances out. But I just kind of liked the aspect of like, oh, what flight are they going to get? Like, are they taking this taxi? Or are they taking the train or the subway? It's just, I don't know.
If someone doesn't know how to drive manual.
Every season.
It's too many seasons.
Every season.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Unless you live in New York. These New York teams, like, that's just tough.
Very.
What?
Like, the people in New York just don't even drive. Just driving in in like, right? Or like maybe San Francisco. We don't see that many, but there's always a New York team who's like, I don't drive. Like,
I don't even have a license.
Right. Just like basic driving. What? Well, this was so fun, you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
So excited about the season coming up. And I know, some people in the chat are watching Amazing Race Canada still going on. Amazing Race Australia just started, which I am also covering that. It is a lot of racing happening right now. It's all amazing. Any last thoughts, James, that you want to say about this season or your team or anything?
I look forward to this season. I look forward to hearing why it's a season of firsts. Like what are we in for as viewers and as fans of the show? And hey, I hope we can keep up this momentum of 2 seasons a year, because I feel like we've been robbed of that the past couple of years. So I just am so happy that the race is back in full swing. And I know whatever adjustments that they continue to make to accommodate the current world we're in, I know that they'll do a great job at doing that and still pleasing fans. So I'm excited for just the future of the race as a whole.
Right. Good. Question, was the limit of roadblocks a member can do removed on y'all's seasons?
No, we still had that. Ours. The only thing that changed was when we came back the second time from our COVID hiatus, your roadblocks reset. So
Oh.
that's why if you look at like the entire season, technically Raquel did more than me, but it's because we got to reset when we came back from COVID.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But no, it was still there. Yeah.
Well, Cayla, any other thoughts? Anything you want to say about the season or your team?
No, I'm so excited to watch. Like now that like I got to experience it and live my dream, it's like I have a whole new reborn appreciation for the Amazing Race, and I feel like I get to watch it with like with new lenses and text you guys and James.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I'm just excited. Like he said, I hope that it stays on this trend of 2 a year because I look forward to it. I look forward to it so much. So
Yes, agreed. James and Cayla are amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys are so fun. We're excited to watch this season with you guys.
Yes, and if you're joining us later, leave a comment and let us know your thoughts about this season, and let us know who you think has the best team.
Yep. That's right. All right, you guys. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.